Sunday night, the gang unites. Claire and Roke shining bright. Mark and Raven cruising through. Sometimes Chris joins the crew. PooDoo crew, the pro-wax and flow. Going off the rails we go. Join the chat, be part of the show. Every Sunday night, let's go. PooDoo crew.
That's what you call a B-side. You flip the record over.
PooDoo bop.
You flip it over.
Yeah,
we will let her know, Coop, because she's not here.
It's just us.
It's just us. Sorry about that.
If you were around, how long ago would that have been? 16.
Yeah, get it out.
If you would have been around 16 years ago, Roke and I were doing a podcast called The Word Podcast. This is pretty much it with us as old men. We were viral young men. Yeah. Now we're not
podcasting until 2 a.m. like lunatics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this is the PooDoo crew, but everyone, welcome to the Word.
Welcome to the Word. Welcome to the Word.
Somebody say word.
Word. Don't adjust your TV set or your monitors. We are two black men. Ooga booga.
That's right.
Popcorn chicken. I would love some popcorn chicken. When's the last time you had popcorn chicken, Chris?
Popcorn chicken or Kool-Aid popcorn? Like Yeah. Yep. So it's Braxton. Wait a minute, how's it DEI? This Braxton is black run. I'll take it.
We'll take it.
I'll take it. Fine.
I like letters.
It's black owned, but
Cha-ching.
I'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. Interesting week, huh? How about that Andor, huh?
Man, watch it up.
Yeah.
Haven't seen a stitch of this. All right, so this is probably like, how do I put this? This week of Star Wars, considering we're coming off of May 4th and into this week, we had Tales of the Underworld, we had the new comic from Alex Segura starting out, all that stuff. This was a major moment in Star Wars storytelling in Star Wars history, and this is some of the best. This week of Andor was some of the best ever, and not one lightsaber was ignited, like not one, and it's nuts.
Not even once.
Oh boy, not even once.
Not even once. Yeah, super important episodes, huh?
Yeah. When you have the whole machination of them screwing over the Ghorman so they could take these resources to Cyril, not knowing that he's been played for well over a year this whole time.
He snapped too. That was some really good acting from him.
That was a galactic crash out. What happened with him,
bro? I was actually afraid.
I was afraid for Dedra, because for a moment I was, and I'm like, nah,
but the line though, when he was like, if you said this is a rumor, I'll throw you out of this window, is like, it's bananas. I was like, brother.
Yeah.
Somebody tranked this guy immediately.
Yeah, he was, he a lifetime of pent up frustrations and this and that.
Sure was.
It jumped out.
Yeah.
Like on her, and he's like, tell me. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
Cyril. You know what I mean? Like it was crazy. It was long overdue.
And that was a soccer ball for like a year. He moved and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Played that man hard.
Played him. Like had to lie to his mom for what he was doing. She had to find out that he got murdered in
on the news.
Yeah,
on the news that he told her to stop watching.
Yeah. One thing about, you know, and we're kind of going off track, but it's we need to go in order of the episode. That's crazy. But when he was going through the crowd, like it seemed like he had already been not turned, you know, but
he was definitely out.
Yeah,
he was out.
Yeah,
he was out.
And so like when he's like, you know, going through that crowd in a daze, like just watching this happen and know that he's partly responsible for this, and he go sort of native, you know, for being there for someone like Warner. Like, you know, why? Like, none of them are guilty of doing anything. Like, why am I looking for that? Oh, man, it was so powerful. And then he just turns his head a little bit and sees the guy whose face that he has been etched into his memory in Andor, and seeing Cassian there, and he's like, "This motherfucker,
this is all your fault." Right.
Or it's either like, you know, he's saying this is all his fault, or he knows he's connected, or he's like, something is going right in my life, and I'm going to get this guy, that, you know, this white whale, you know, that's Moby Dick, you know, was going after it. So
what a fight too.
Yeah,
I didn't know Cyril had it in him.
Yeah,
but that was all
fresh out. Yeah,
it was adrenaline. Yeah. I was like, holy shit. I was like, buddy,
he was handed it, but then Cassian was like, yes, but I have hands.
Look at my hands.
Watch these uppercuts. Like, he wrecked his show.
The show is not called Cyril. It's called Andor.
It's called Andor. But that fight was intense, and the way he went out was like it was exactly how people's, you know, like major characters' deaths have been happening in the show. It's not like in some grand blaze of glory or anything like that. It's just
someone getting shot in the head.
Done.
Real quick.
Done.
Because this is resistance. This is war.
Yeah. It's unceremonious deaths have been happening in you know. Cinta, who, like, you know, I have dubbed the T-1000. She is Terminator.
Yeah.
For her to go out on some stupid mistake. You know, like, you know, I forgot the dude from the Bear, like, you know, which
forgot his name.
Someone in the chat,
cousin.
You know, let's
call him cousin.
He's cousin. When cousin was like, yeah, why don't we just split this shit? We take care of them. We split it. He's just like, shoot in the face, like, you know, there's, you know. You didn't see it. You didn't see
it. Literally, shoot first, ask questions. Never.
Yeah.
If even later.
But like, you know, it's you know, all these deaths have been, or you know when characters get killed, you know, it's been like that. That's just how war and these revolutions go. It's just, you're done, and that's it. And there's no like, no one got like a long drawn out death. I'm hoping. I don't see Luthen surviving.
No, how?
This thing.
How? So answer this question. Who's in Rogue One?
Right, but you know, Padme but like Ahsoka wasn't in.
True.
You know, and she survived.
Well, I think Luthen's going to get caught up. He has to. I mean, we obviously know Mon Mothma goes to the very end. I mean, she's behind all it.
And she, and that poor woman. I am.
Oh man, buddy.
Like, I'm like, how did she make it to Return of the Jedi? All that stress would have killed me by now.
You killed an elephant.
All that stress would have. She should have killed over, unless like in a galaxy far, far away, the anti-anxiety meds are.
Or maybe she goes out dancing like once a week and just gets it out undercover. Just out there sweating it out. Probably.
Or you know, she goes out and just starts beating up people, Grand Theft Auto style. Just beating up random people.
Rush in the yayo.
The Ghorman massacre itself, which
oh my god, whole like, actual genocide.
Yeah,
yeah,
which everything was leading up to was heartbreaking. Just watching.
Yeah, it was very hard to watch
that escalate and go down, and how listen. If this show, all right, I know that like I've been a fan of the Empire, like the Galactic Empire as a whole. Like, the bad guys. I love the aesthetic. I love the uniforms, the technology, all that stuff.
Right.
But fuck the Empire.
Yeah, dude.
Man, like this is. Look, if Darth Vader wasn't involved with this, I'd be
a lot of people wouldn't have. Yeah.
But this show makes you hate the Empire, and for good reason. Like, I don't know if I could completely like.
It's definitely eye-opening to see. Because when you think back, like you said, you grew up like, Darth Vader's cool. He's not a space Nazi. Wait, he is though.
Right.
This is really bad. Like, but yeah, dude. I mean, it's a bummer because, like you said, Empire's cool, and then you realize that fascism is fascism, no matter how you shape it, and what's happening with us in the real world. Politically, this hit really home.
I remember when Rogue One came out, and it was we were a year or so into, I was like, this movie's hitting too close to home. Like, this is where we can end up. And then fast forward to now, and I'm like, I'm just like, I don't like this. This is way too close to home. And, like, this is why I have not finished. There's a Star Wars book out right now. That's like right after Revenge of the Sith. It's like in the Andor-ish style. It's a more grounded story about how the Empire gets on, like, after the events of Order 66 and, the events of Revenge of the Sith. And I'm like, man, everything they're talking about, I'm like, this is way too close. I had to put the book down. I was like, let me leave that for a minute, because it's too real. It's too real, Roy.
It's too real.
It's too real.
It happened to be similar to the situation when I was reading Gundam Origins. I was like, well, let me just. Yeah, we're
what?
Yeah, what? The whole chair and all out of that plane. But yeah, dude, this show I was already good. But these 3 episodes, it's the first night in which I watched all 3 together.
Oh, really?
Because I was just like, next episode. Like,
were you like? I had to take a break. Remember when I watched when I read I think it was like volume 6 or 7 of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. Like, when the governor like found them at the prison, I was like, all right, I need to take a mental health break from this book. This is. I'm like, that's it. I'll get back to it later. And I eventually did. After episode 8, I was like, me and Claire were texting back and forth because she was just like going through it after watching that and like doing her reaction video to it.
Right.
And she also took a break between 8 and 9. And I had to do the same. It was
rough.
Like, if I would have done a reaction video to that, like, it would have just been me just like after the credits start rolling, I'm just like
the song they were singing to. Oh, dude.
Yeah, their anthem.
Oh,
yeah,
crazy. And then Bix leaves.
At the very end of.
And you're just like,
one.
Jesus Christ, man!
But he gains a new buddy.
Yeah,
gains a buddy.
And it's a bummer because I thought she was going to OD whatever drug she was taking. Like, I thought she was still secretly taking it after, even though she conquered her demons, But she was just like, I'm out. Like, I can't. You can't.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Real quick. When the blaster burn thing, was that lady force sensitive?
What with the force healer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I know
Yeah,
it's usually
like
force
not like
but the way like chew it that is right.
maybe he was
Okay,
more insightful than because
okay,
but yeah, we don't know the level of his force sensitivity, but
okay,
for like a force healer like her,
okay.
she may not have a full grasp of the force like a way a Jedi would or whatever, but she was it was like whatever was coming off of him, whatever she could feel through the force
Hmm.
was loud, and she could not even deny it. Like she stopped mid whatever she was doing,
Yeah,
and like she could see that something was up with with Cassian,
mm-hmm.
and just had to go over there and find out what his deal is. And then when she like connected with him and was trying like force healing the was doing the whole force heal thing on him, and like he could like she had a vision where like it's like everything she's saying that everything that he had been through is
Mm-hmm.
like preparing him for what he's about to do. Like she saw like that bigger picture, no matter how like yeah, she saw the bigger picture, not fully whatnot. It was a vision, so she interpreted as she would,
Yeah,
but showing that he had he's got a bigger purpose
hmm.
that's still within the rebellion as a bigger purpose.
That's awesome.
I was just like that's a cool foreshadowing that
Yeah,
he's like, I'm not believing this because I mean like he's like, yeah, all that stuff is just nonsense.
space
As
mumbo
far as
jumbo. He didn't
yeah,
even want to go. This dude
yeah,
is so tense, bro. Like
yeah.
the fact that like he got that. First off, the little bungalow looks so cute and cozy that
Oh
they like
God, yeah.
made for
Oh,
themselves.
fantastic.
I
Yeah,
was like, oh,
yeah,
you guys are safe like a motherfucker, like in here. But no. He still pacing back and forth because he probably has insane nightmares.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, Coop. That is yeah. There are definitely a lot of force sensitive people there
Okay.
that are just chosen by the force. Absolutely, absolutely.
I've never seen it used in like a medical sense like that.
Hmm. Clone Wars, they did it, and
Oh,
also Grogu did it with Grief Karga.
Grave car. Yes, he did.
Ray
Yes,
did it as well with the big snake,
old snake.
and then when she healed Kylo Ren.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's been seen before, force
Okay.
healing.
All right.
Um,
All right.
so
Thought
yeah.
that was just a perk in Kotar. All right.
No, speaking of which, I'm playing that right now.
What one?
Yeah. Yeah,
So good, dude.
I'm going through. I'm going to go through them again. Um,
Dude, two
um,
is so chunky.
two was I played two first.
Yeah, two is good, but the ending kind of just happens.
Yeah, the endings. I'm like, oh, well,
Like,
okay.
like it looks like
Credits.
it looks like a tracking line came up on the VHS and it went right to the end of a fucking. I'm old. No one knows what I'm talking about, but you. What?
No. There's a couple of there. Yeah.
You don't help me, Mister. My episode 1 VHS tape with the Obi-Wan fight in Darth Vader is like on. What? Did you break your tape?
Yeah. And now Tatooine, absolutely, yeah. The Force healers seemed like she had some basic sense of the Force, but probably no real training from a Jedi. Absolutely,
okay, sure.
Just Force sensitive individual who
Because they're
believes
still in
sense
hiding right now.
Casting. Absolutely, yeah. Either
Right.
yeah. Or I mean, or if you're at that point, who's still around at that point? Kanan may still be around at that point, but Ezra is definitely still around.
Okay.
Cal Kestis hopefully is still around by that point, which I think he
Okay.
is. I think that but he's off on Tanalor somewhere.
Well, we don't know what his ultimate fate is yet either. So.
Right. Hopefully we get a show.
Or a third game.
Or that's what I'm. Yeah. Third game and a show. And
That game was a movie.
Yeah, and give him a movie. Give him all that shit. But so we go into this 9th episode, which is
this is the last 3, or we have 6 left.
we have 3 left.
3 left. So this is the last week.
Last week.
Okay.
But like when Ghorman happened, and that just kind of that pushed it to the edge as far as Mon and the movement. No, that goes like it's time to make this shit public. It's time to call them out for what they're doing because that this is one step too far. And yes, they go further. Oof, boy, do they go further. But
well, they said you're gonna watch Rogue One differently when this last 3 happens.
I have not watched Rogue One since Andor came out because I want to
exactly
not just this season, since Andor came out. I
exactly
have not watched Rogue One.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. Yeah.
I'm gonna wait until it's all done. And then
do you imagine that mashup that's gonna happen of like
I'm making it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm making it. Like I make movies of each arc for I almost said Randor. That's a He-Man thing. For Andor and I already have a Rogue One, A New Hope.
That's dope. That's a new dope. You'll be by yourself. You can't do this. You'll be by yourself, and there'll be no one here but you. Do you really want to do this, Christopher? You're all alone. It's just me now. Just me.
But yeah. So there's gonna be some kind of like 48 terabyte.
It's gonna be husky.
Huge. It's gonna be huge. You
know when Raul caught the statue heads and then broke them? It's that many terabytes.
Literally this.
That many terabytes.
But I'm definitely going to do like, I'm probably going to do like the last episode, depending on how these episodes go and whatnot. I'm probably going to do like these. I'm going to make a block of these 3 and edit those out. Right. And then I may do something with the last episode and have that lead into Rogue One and into A New Hope. So maybe I'll just do one of like episode 12, Rogue One, A New Hope.
Oh, okay, that'd be cool.
So I may do something like that.
That'd be cool.
Because I'm
Hey.
I like editing.
You like editing.
I like editing.
You really do.
I like editing. Her speech was magnificent. It's a little bit different from the snippet that we got in Star Wars Rebels as far as her Senate speech.
Yeah. She was great.
Oh, it was fantastic.
She was awesome.
And I mean, like, if there's no way you felt something from that speech because of how it hits, like it hit on, as far as reality goes, like it hit, like, and I'm so hoping that the fans who really, really need to hear that message heard it. I hope.
Here's hoping.
But they canon wise, they they did line it up, I think, perfectly with what happened on Star Wars Rebels to here, because he got her to the hideout, and then Gold Squadron came and got her and took her on to and took her on to the Ghost, and they had to go through their adventure with Governor Price and
shit when he's escorting her,
all that stuff.
And she just shoots the driver broad day.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, poof! I was like, oh shit, Cassie.
Yeah. He's like, I don't give a fuck. We have to get out of here.
Literally, we have to leave right now. Like it's not an option. We're not stopping.
Yeah.
Kablamo.
And this was like an eye opener for her, because it was like she goes from fighting it in the Senate, which is still very dangerous on its own, but physically safe, to now she's full blown. Like, and he says, "Welcome to the rebellion." I'm like, that's a phrase that's said a lot in Star Wars. And when she's seeing people die right in front of her, it was so like eye opening for her, definitely, because her eyes were like, all this death happening around her. But like, just like with what Luthen was saying, like this is what the rebellion, this is what revolution is.
Nice. What are your thoughts on this?
I was just going to get to that.
Okay.
I don't like it when stories from the comics are
ignored,
swept aside, and ignored, and looked over and changed. But this worked.
It did work. It did work.
Like, the story in the comic, which I read it once. I had, like, it's on my wall over here. I read it once, and that was it. I'm like, all right, okay, that's how they met. Okay, cool.
Right.
I was figuring that they were. I thought they were going to do the whole them meeting was going to happen in that year between that we don't see.
Okay.
You know, like that time stretch we don't see,
Right.
and they were going to like leave that canon without showing that happened. But they
Because the
changed
comic happened.
Yeah.
So,
But they-
question: in the room with all of them sitting in there being transported,
Yeah.
all the K2 droids, the one that's like looking,
That's totally K2.
okay, that's what I
Yeah.
figured.
Yeah, when the other KX droids were like, they looked and they just went away, and he's still there. It was a little like with the eyes when he's like looks him up and down. I was like, that's
Just
K2SO.
K2SO.
And there's a couple markings on his breastplate
Okay,
here that also it's the same thing. So yeah,
sick. All right, cool. Because I wasn't sure. I thought it was like, hey, a little nod to us being like, yep, that's exactly who you think it is. It's a type of moment.
And like man, when he looked him up and down, I was like, that's so that's K2. That's K2. Even before the program, like, oh, he's a sassy bitch. You know?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Loved it.
Those K2 droids were throwing people everywhere.
They were terrifying. And there was one like when I think it was actually K2SO who like he punched this person off of a speeder. Now go back and look at that scene because he stepped into that punch.
Oh my god.
He didn't need to step into that. He didn't need to. He was dang, and like like he put it all in there, and that was I was like, God damn, like it was. I tried not to laugh at that, but I mean, it was horrible.
It was horrible.
But he stepped into that like that was unnecessary, sir.
Yeah,
that was unnecessary. But yeah, like they were terrifying. Like that one that blockade that the one kicked out of the way, and for many feet, yards.
Yeah.
And it took like 3 or 4 of these Imperials just to put that thing in place. And he was like, kick yards,
yardage.
And then they started throwing people, a bunch of people. Like the one revolutionary from the Ghorman front, like he grabbed her. Tossed the minute her head hit the pavement, it was a wrap.
It was a wrap, yeah.
And it
is crazy because which looks like a normal stunt that one would get up from in any other movie or any other show.
Yeah, her head you could.
Well, it just showed the power.
Yeah,
because any other people get hit by cars like that. Like it was a car bump fall. How she took that? Like, okay. No, on school 101, like your basic pratfall, and it was just like eyes open. I was like, "Whoop!"
Yeah, that's a wrap. Her head hit that pavement. You heard the skull crack.
Yeah.
Oh, this is. I'm like, damn. This is
the watermelon was dropped for that.
Yeah. And then that one guy Sam who messed around and got sent to killed. He
lived pissed me off.
But he did help save the galaxy.
Wow.
Because he hit K2SO.
Oh.
K2SO was needed to, for them to get the plans. Oh my God. It's all connected, brother. But yeah. So yeah, he finally did some good, but yeah, he's going to have to live with that if he survived.
If he survives. He survived. Man, I'm excited for these last 3.
Coop, because the Empire is like, it's do what I say, not what I do. So yeah, they get outlawed for for combat and whatnot. Forgets for anyone else. You're like, yeah, not for them. Not for them.
You think we're going to get a Mads cameo or a Jin cameo? I know he's not big on that. But these are from a movie he did.
I hope so. I don't know about Jin, unless it's gonna be some passing thing where you see her, like on her, in jail or something like that. Because I think she was by that point. If it's leading right into Rogue One, she is definitely in jail or on her way to.
So it would make more sense if Ben Mendelsohn's character talks to Mads' character in some capacity.
Either that or what I think would be cool, and they did show it in the comic, which was cool, but it's Galen Erso talking to Bodhi Rook, the pilot, who helps everything in motion with had the plans on him, or not the plans, but the the message, that Saul got.
Right.
So
or maybe we can see Riz Ahmed's character because
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. Right.
He's Bodhi Rook. So that needs that would be super dope if they did that. And they really were bringing it together like that. I like to see that. Maybe something else with Galen and Krennic would be cool to see. Man,
because it'll be before he like runs off, right?
For Bodhi Rook?
Yeah, no, Mads Mikkelsen's character before he or both really. They're both working for the rebellion.
Oh yeah. Galen's been working for the Empire for 16 years at that point.
Okay.
So he is he's already well in it, and he's playing his part, keeping his head down, and making his plans to destroy this Death Star. I'm hoping. I'm not going to say I'm hoping that it happens. They're going to do the story however they're going to do the story.
It'd be cool. Yeah,
it'd be so dope to see. To see them show up in some way, just kind of full circle this whole thing.
Right. I mean, if it makes sense with the story, go for it. If not, it's whatever. I'm having a great time. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I just wonder, are we going to get the rings of Kefrene? We're going to get him walking in. That's the first scene in Rogue One. It's going to rings of Kefrene, where Cassian meets the Saw's informant or whatever, and then shoots him. So we'll see.
Okay,
we'll see.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
I hope so. I hope it happens.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So, Last of Us this week or last weekend was.
Hold on.
Well,
yo.
What?
I need to see what's the family? What's my mom from his family?
Oh yeah.
Parents gotta be like, oh, she wasn't cheating on me. She was cheating on the Empire instead.
Right.
I wonder what that's gonna be like. They're gonna hate her even, more
sure.
than they already do. I think. But I wonder what, or are they gonna be like, are they gonna arrest all of them because that's your wife? You knew about this, something like that. You're part of it, and they're in jail.
That could be one of these episodes.
They're in prison. Yeah,
that could be one of these 3 episodes.
Man.
It could be what happens with her family, what happens with Luthen.
Yeah,
and then them leading into Rogue One. Yeah, because Luthen's fate, I think, will be determined in some way within these 3 episodes.
I wonder. That's the one thing is everyone's looking for that, but I wonder.
Okay,
is he going to
get away?
Yeah.
What if he does? I mean, what I mean by fate is it whether he does get away or if he dies? We're going to definitely find out for sure.
Yeah, I wonder about that. I wonder if he's going to get away. I think that would be poetic because of that. That speech he made.
Mm-hmm.
About I'm not going to enjoy any of the fruits of the labor to get this revolution going and to stop the Empire. I'm not going to see that stuff. What if he is? That would be such a victory.
Yeah.
Yes, he's done some things. He's caused some things to happen, but it was all to expose the Empire for what they are. And unfortunately people had to suffer for that.
Yeah.
For that to happen. But
war sucks.
But it would be so great, so poetic if he was the one that got away. And probably Bix too.
Yeah, I think Bix does get away. Yeah. I think Bix grows old.
When she was giving him the Dear John,
yeah,
and was like, when this is all over.
Oh, buddy, I was like, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. You're never gonna see him again.
Don't go to Scarif.
Yeah, don't
know,
go to scare.
Just yeah. I was, and that was the goal. That was what's supposed to happen. That was just, it was heartbreaking. And she's like, yeah, when this is all over, we'll do all the things you wanted to do, and I was just,
I was just like this. I was just like,
yeah.
oh boy.
Let
me tell you what's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Half of this paragraph.
Yeah.
Buddy.
But
Man,
she,
what a show, dude.
Everyone had a part in saving the galaxy. It wasn't all just Luke and Han and Leia.
No.
There were so many people that came together from many years before them who all did their part to get the rebellion to where it is, so that Luke could,
who were just as badass too.
Yeah.
And Mon Mothma got to see the majority of it.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Like, if anyone writes the book, she writes the book.
Yeah.
So, dude, I can't wait for these other three.
Fuck, come on, man.
Oh my God. He probably was.
Yeah.
He probably was.
He did not see Jin.
No. You wouldn't have fallen in love that quick. You're thinking about, she reminds you of someone, dude. She reminds you of someone. Yeah. Kind of like how, Joel reminded, Sarah reminded, Joel of Ellie,
Oh,
or
amazing
backwards.
segue.
Amazing
Fantastic segue.
Yes.
Oh, we had to end on that hurt.
Yeah, end on that hurt, yeah.
Thanks, Coop.
And now more hurt.
Thanks so much.
So, Last of Us last Sunday. I need to write some fanfiction. Yeah, do it. Important episode for a lot of reasons. First off, the set pieces of the subway and the news station and the theater were so accurate.
Oh yeah,
I thought they were pre-rendered backgrounds from the game.
Wow.
And then I watched the making of afterwards, and I was like, y'all actually did this shit. Even down to the Seraphite arrow written in blood on the wall with the "She is with us," all from the game. So Ellie and Dina are in Seattle. They got there quick because this is a television show, and you ain't got to punch people or kill zombies to get there. So they got there relatively quickly.
Hold on, pause that for 1 second. Yeah. Why are you guys in the chat continually breaking my heart?
Put that down. Put that heart back in there.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
Right.
Oh, that would be beautiful. And maybe Willman's too. No, he should survive. Willman, breathe it in, boy. That dude. He should
I like him.
Survive as well. Yeah. Yeah, he's got a lady friend on every planet. Listen, y'all think Lando is that dude.
No.
Apparently it's Willman.
No, it's Casanova Willman over here.
Casanova.
Yeah.
All right, back to last week.
Oh yeah. So they're in Seattle and they ran across some they're seeing the aftermath of these Seraphite versus WLF encounters.
Mm-hmm.
Now in the game there were them running into aftermath battles, but it was Tommy who was a day ahead of them. So in the game, they all agree to go together, Tommy and Ellie. And instead of Ellie and them running off in the middle of the night, Tommy does. So throughout the game, you're catching up. You're seeing campfires where Tommy was sleeping. You're seeing like dead bodies of WLF soldiers where Tommy was encountered with, because you're finding like shell cases from his rifle, etc. But in this instance, you're seeing they are literally walking through this civil war in Seattle between the Washington Liberation Front, the Wolves, and the Seraphites, which the wolves called Scars.
Mm-hmm.
So it cuts to Jeffrey Wright, whose character's name was Isaac. Hold on. First off, shouts out to Josh Peck. Josh Peck cameo from Drake and Josh was that asshole.
Oh my god!
That's who that was. That's who that was.
I never watched the show, but I recognize.
Right,
I recognize him. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Great job. I was like, holy shit, Josh Peck's in The Last of Us. This is crazy. And it cuts to Isaac, who we knew in the game was former Fedra, but we don't see Isaac until you start playing with Abby. So the game's layout is prologue, Joel's death, day 1, 2, and 3 of Ellie, then day 1, 2, and 3 of Abby, filling in the blanks. So you get to see a lot of the WLF, and Isaac was voiced by Jeffrey Wright. Not his face, though, but the voice. And he was a former Fedra guy who's completely not well, who had a treaty agreement with these Seraphites. That treaty was broken in some way, like how they always are. They always blame each other for the treaty being broken, and they're at war. And Isaac is a master torture artist. And since it was a video game, you only saw the aftermath of a lot of these tortures. But with a show on television, especially an HBO show, you can get away with stuff like that. And we got to see the beginning of Isaac being Fedra, setting up his team and joining these people to make a better version of what Fedra should have been. And they wind up being worse than Fedra 16 years later. He takes this rookie with him who knows nothing. And he was like, choose your side. He chooses Isaac. And then 16 years later, outside of the door, when he's talking to that guy, the new recruit, that's the same dude. And you can see how it changed him. Even, like I said in season 1, even with the zombie apocalypse, man is still at war with each other. And we got to see Isaac had the Seraphite and, asked them where they are because it's going down. And, they're like, you can torture me all you want. You won't get an answer out of me, which is very how Seraphites are. They're like Mennonites almost. They use bolt action rifles and bow and arrows, like no technology. Fire is light and in heat for them. Stuff like that. Like they're very grounded. So yeah, we're seeing all that. The subway scene happens. I was figuring out how they're going to have the scene in which Dina finds out that Ellie is immune, because in the game, spores were a big thing. Where they had to use gas masks because it was literally there was pockets of the world where it was contaminated fucking air and shit. So in the game, Ellie's mask gets cracked and Dina's about to take her gas mask off the inventory. She goes, no, leave her on, you'll die. They get out of there. She goes, how did you survive that? Then she gives them the story. This one's a little bit more prologue and more well acted. I think this is a much better version of Ellie letting herself get bit so Dina doesn't. And Dina being totally freaked out, being like, holy shit, I have to kill this person that I'm like, didn't even tell that I love yet.
Right.
And dude, these fucking actors are so good. And she was like, look, I'm gonna go. She's like, look, I can't die from this. It's complicated. I'm gonna go over there to this chair. I'm gonna go to bed. She's like, and I promise you I will wake up tomorrow morning. And it was like the best acting. It's like Dina's like so scared. And the camera work in this episode, particularly this shot I'm talking about, really, really grabbed me because it's the scene where Ellie gets woken up in the middle of the night because they're like in a bed and the light of Dina's light on Ellie was so fucking scary to me. Yeah. Because all you see is pants legs and this light. And she's like, look, see? And then they like explain, and then they have their first, I love you moment. Yeah. And that theater is their home base in the game, pretty much. Like that's where they convene. That's where Ellie goes to and from to take out people who did things. Okay. So, and in that theater, That's where Dina finds out everybody's face name because she listens to a CV radio, and by that point, Ellie had already killed maybe two of those people from Abby's camp, and they had a set of Polaroids with everyone's name on it, like, just joking around, like these are my friends, I love them. So if they had Polaroids, and she had like a yarn board and all that stuff, so she figured out what everybody's name was.
Killboard.
Located. Yeah, Killboard. Through CV radio speech instead of her being there when Joel dies. So yeah, so they have that map that they have. That map's also important. It helps out other characters later. But yeah, they did a fantastic job with this episode, particularly because it was like a real, like, put at the screen, this is from the game, like, moments. Especially those sets, that subway set, and how, like, there's already infected down there while the people are looking for you. Like, you're supposed to, like, use the infected as a distraction so that you can escape. So you can see, so like they're all fighting each other. You just like walk on out, or sneak out. So they did a really, really good job with that. Also, I will say the Dina pregnancy thing was like, I saw it coming, but the fact that she was like, no, this one says yes, this one says yes. She had like 5 to like make sure. But yeah, like Dina's super preggers. But at this point, she's like super sick for being pregnant, so she like has to like lay down. So it's just mostly Ellie out there by herself. But I think Jesse arrives soon because he was like, in the game he follows them because he doesn't like, trying to make sure the woman he loves is all right. Yeah. So I mean, they're doing a great job.
Does he know it? Well, no, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Okay. But yeah, dude, fantastic episode. Fantastic. What else happened this week? Oh, so me and Chris, as you guys know, we love fighting games.
Yep.
And there's a really, really big tournament called Evolution. It's so big that there's more around the world. Evolution is a mystery. But Evo Japan happens before the big Evo here in the States. I think our Evo is August this year. In like Vegas, it's always in Vegas. But Evo Japan happened this weekend. It's shorter because there's games that they don't include, like Mortal Kombat. Like there isn't a big fighting game presence for Mortal Kombat in Japan. It's very Western.
Right. Yeah.
But it was Third Strike. It was for Virtua Fighter. It was Street Fighter 6. It was Tekken. It's Grand Blue Fantasy and Guilty Gear Strive. Blue. The Grand Blue. It's the newer Arc System game. Okay. And Guilty Gear Strive. It was 6 games. And KOF 15 and Mark of the Wolf. So it was 8. It was 8 games. So it was pretty hefty. It was pretty hefty. I watched a few stuff. Street Fighter 6 was intense. A guy named Manard won again for the second year in a row. Having both of his characters nerfed in between this year, so he had to like switch it up. Like he was a Luke player, and they like nerfed Luke to the ground. So he was like, I guess I'll start using Blanca and like put on some of the most impressive Blanca playing I've ever seen. And when it comes to Tekken, Knee, as in your body part, who's really, really good as Brian. It's officially goated. He has an Evo Japan and Evo America Tekken championship with the same character. So that was really, really cool. Virtua Fighter. I will remember this person's handle for the rest of my life. It was a Japanese man named U.S. Hospital. He won Virtua Fighter. Then they teased something under Virtua Fighter 6. That's coming out. The Virtua Fighter Project is still called. They don't want to call it 6 yet. Just technically call it Virtua Fighter Project, and it's by the Yakuza team. So the Yakuza engine. Yeah. And they showed
this game is probably both adventure game or not side scroll, but you know what I'm saying.
People were saying they're going to have some sort of mode where you walk around for sure.
Because every fighting game doing that.
They're, yeah, and you can thank Ed Boon from Mortal Kombat Deception for granting you that.
Yep.
I know it was bad, brain, but it was fun. All right, conquest mode, dude. You know, put some stank on it. But they showed Wolf Hawkfield, and Wolf is looking like Ganondorf.
So much,
and he's the pro wrestler character. And how they introduced him was like has a wrestling entrance, and it was like commentator team talking about like how he was like previously retired, and he has a faction called the Pack, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah.
That we'll probably never see, because it's like when it comes to
unless story mode,
unless their background is story mode, which is interesting because people don't really know what happens in these virtual fighting games, but there is a story.
Yeah,
I think, is it silly? Yeah, you fight a woman named Doral who's made out of liquid metal every game, so it's
Senta.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, it was awesome. It was awesome. If you love fighting games, go back and take a look. They also announced Tekken Season 2. You're gonna love this, Chris. Pac-Man stages. Yeah, like full Pac-Man stages.
Explain how this. Now we're talking Pac-Man from that very depressing.
No. I wish, right? No, Pac-Man as in like Waka Waka.
Yeah, like really. So you're gonna be in the.
There's pixelized stages, and when you fall through the ground, the pixels open up, and there's more Pac-Man-esque thing on the wall. There's also Pac-Man
pellets.
I think so. There's Pac-Man effects for your characters now. But you can you can do that. You can put a Pac-Man head on Alyssa's head because she's a robot. Stuff like that. And then there's stuff I actually genuinely laughed at. So, that little Times Square stage they have and all the billboard. So they're doing a promotion for this new Karate Kid movie. And everything in that stage has the Karate Kid legends just everywhere. And you can put a hoodie on for your customized character. I was like, promote, you guys. You guys are to promote to the ground. And the next season 2 character is the Muay Thai guy from 7, Fakuram.
Right. Yeah.
Which is internet calls him "fuck your mom," and they debuted him on the Mother's Day.
That's terrible.
Which is also hilarious. Why don't you go Pac? Well, sometimes you're right. So yeah, fighting games are for everyone. Go play them. Next week in comics, I got a chance to read Battle Beast early.
Oh, hold on. Now, when you say Battle Beast, there was a little known toy run, these tiny action figures, called Battle Beast.
Yes,
where it was pretty much rock paper scissors, right? Yeah. But it was with elements,
right?
There's fire beats wood,
yes, of course,
but water beats fire,
yes.
Wood beats water because it can stop its flow, so on and so forth.
Yeah,
and there was these tiny animals, these anthropomorphic animals, and I had a ton of them because 80s, and so. Is it based? Please tell me. Is it based on that, or are we talking something from Invincible?
No, from Invincible, you fool!
Why didn't you stop me like midway through?
I wanted to hear all of it. I wanted to know what wood beat. I don't know. Get water makes sense. Yeah, it absorbs the water. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. So it's Invincible presents Battle Beast, and if you recall, he already showed up on the show with everybody's ass and then left. That portal he walks through, it takes place right after that.
Okay.
So it's in between him leaving and coming back to the main story. And it's funny because there's this blind variant. They're doing like a poly bag.
Okay.
And you have a chance to get any of the variants that are solicited in it. I think it's like 6 or 7. But one of them is a shiny. That's the second issue. So you could be like, oh, I got the first issue. I got the poly bag. I got the second issue early. And we had one that was damaged at the store, and I opened it up. And lo and behold, it was the shiny second issue.
Wow.
But I haven't read the second one yet. But I read the first one today. In violence everywhere.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, Christopher. Yeah. He's a very violent man.
Are you sure that he doesn't deal in the elemental? Because I mean, he looks like one of the battle beasts from the cart, from the toys.
Michael Dorn voiced him?
Yeah. I knew that.
That's awesome. Yeah. At least you should be more enthusiastic next time.
But you're sure?
Michael Dorn voices him?
What?
Crazy, right?
Whoa!
What are we gonna do?
That voice sounded familiar.
What could you do?
You're sure? Like he doesn't have like a symbol on his chest?
There's no symbol on his chest.
That's either wood, fire, or water. And you have to like put your thumb over it because it's thermal thing that it exposes it to it's a mystery.
Go to your room.
Unless I'm already.
You're grounded. Go to your room.
I'm
there's no dinner.
No.
No supper for you. You did this.
I understand.
There's a game coming out next week I'm excited about. Doom the Dark Ages comes out. The new installment of the Doom franchise that restarted in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
It was Doom, the Doom Eternal, and now Doom the Dark Ages. It's a prequel of you in the Dark Ages just bullying demons because...
Many bullets or it's axes?
Yeah, those, yes.
Is it bullet axe, like axe bullets?
You have a shield and a gun. And you can throw this shield, you can parry with this shield, but it's just you bullying demons. Again, like this guy is a jerk, and I love him.
Wow.
I'm in. All the way in.
I am in. What else is coming out in comics next week?
In comics, the Canon Gwenpool book comes. It looks stupid.
Oh, really?
It's the resurrection. It's the resurrected body of the actual Gwen Stacy, and they gave her like a one Wolverine claw thing. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like what they're doing with that. I'm hearing One World Under Doom has been good. I'm waiting a little bit to read it. I think they're on issue 4 is this week.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because he's Sorcerer Supreme now, so he like changed everything.
That's still happening. Yeah,
that's what this is all under. Is that?
Okay.
So that's going on. New Absolute Batman.
So when you read Doom's voice,
does
it sound like Doom? Or is it? Sounded like Robert Downey Jr.
I think of the hip hop artist Doom when he talks.
Ooh, or it could be Robert Downey Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Doom doesn't like where this is going, and make him sound like Doom. Make him sound like Robert Downey from Tropic Thunder. You know what I mean? Just say,
stop with the spreadsheet script shit, man. Come on, man.
Hey, now, man.
Rustle up some of these greens. Get the catfish on the Friday, y'all. Huh. Hey, yeah.
If he doesn't sound like that, it's Doom. I want my money back.
I'll put it in my hand, Marvel.
Yeah.
And with that, we come to a close. Just two guys hanging out. That's what this is.
This is a sequel to the Old Word podcast, if there ever was one. Just sort of
inside jokes you don't know about coming your way.
I hope you had fun.
You are confused. You are confused. Chris, where can they find you?
Hey man. Find me at the Bro Axiom Outpost.
Yeah.
Got some stuff coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Got stuff coming in. Some new merch that I'm waiting on. A lot of G.I. Joe stuff. I got a lot more Star Wars stuff coming in. And yeah, Brian, I got you. And so doing that. And you can find me online, cryan75 on Instagram or Threads. And of course, Chris Ryan's on Blue Sky, looking at people crash out because Benjamin Bratt is Bail Organa now, and they can't get over that. Just let it go. But yeah. And how about you, Mike? Where can they find you?
Well, you can find me right here every Sunday night, 9 p.m. EST, PooDoo Croo, B-side season 2 opener now with our theme song. We got renewed, so that's why the song sounds different.
Yeah, new season.
Bigger budget, it's crazy. Also, you can find me here Thursday nights for one more week. BX Gaming, Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, Claire's on Sticks. Should be a good one. Come by.
Amen.
I don't like.
I understand.
Riots. And with all that,
hold on. What? Hey, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this on live, real quick.
Okay.
And I'll be Commissioner Gordon when I say this. What do you say? You will not play Mass Effect on BX Gaming.
Okay. I'm with that.
Yeah.
It's good. Just you, Paragon, punching through every.
Paragon, sir. No. Renegade.
Renegade. I forgot that both. Okay. Renegade.
Well, maybe I'll play it because that's too easy and it'd be hilarious. But maybe I'll try to keep it maybe in the who knows. I'm gonna try to keep it in the middle because I'm doing that in KOTOR right now.
Okay.
I'm like, let's be level-headed with this. When you gotta be assertive, be assertive. When you gotta be nice. And then
every time
something happens where someone goes, "Hey, can you give me this?" Like, get out of my face. Oh, I gotta calm down. I can't. You know what I'm saying?
I'm for it. We did that. I like that for us.
Romance and Garrett. It depends.
It does depend. Yeah.
It depends.
Depends.
Oh wait, is he? Can Garrus romance male ship? I've never done that. Fem ship, I did that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know about male ship.
Male ship this summer.
I gotta see. No, Garrus is Roke and I call him. He is super ride or die. Garrus is that dude.
It's no one's fault.
Yeah, Garrus is that dude. Like if you play Dragon Age, he's like Varric. Like Garrus and Varric need their own game.
As far as I'm concerned, same guy.
Yeah, pretty much. Just one lies a lot more than the other. But yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Roke.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll figure out a date. We'll figure out a start date.
All right.
Yeah, stay tuned for that. With all that, we wish you guys a happy week. Be safe, and may the Force be with you
always.
PooDoo Croo, the Bro Axiom flow. Going off the rails we go. Join the chat, be part of the show. Every Sunday night, let's go. Weekends end, but hearts ignite. Tuned in close for Sunday night.